Okay. Hello. Are we ready? I gotta turn this around. Yeah. I am struggling to find time to finish this. I was finishing Christmas orders last night, and so I didn't have time to work on this. So I still have things to do. But that's okay. I will work on it soon. All right. We are going to do the deer today and Santa's sleigh. So we're going to change hoops halfway through. But first we will do these little deer. I think I'm just going to stitch this guy because he's got some antlers. Actually, there's antlers on Santa's sleigh. So I'm going to do this one. And then we will move to Santa's sleigh. Hang on. Let me move this one more time. Scoot this a little closer to me. Okay. There we go. All right. So we are going to do more black. Let me look at this. I've got threads all over. Just like all these unfinished things. I was really going to get caught up last night, but it just didn't happen. So I'm going to tie all of these off and cut them so that they are out of my way. And then we will get stitching together. Let's see. I was trying to double knot this. There we go. Oh, look. A knot. Darn. Okay. How are you guys doing? How are your hoops looking? Do we have any questions? Is there anything we need to discuss right now? While I do this really quickly. I feel like I have been so much busier this year than I usually am at this time of the year. And I am not even sure how much I'll be able to get done tonight because my son has an orchestra concert. So we will see. I will catch up before Friday. Because, well, maybe not Friday. Because I think I'll go live one day next week to finish the backs of our hoops. So I loved doing the fly stitch on the trees. Isn't it a fun one? It is one of my all-time favorite stitches. That and like French knots, I think are my two favorite stitches. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay. Let's work on this cute little guy. And let me find my black. So we're going to do 2 strands of the 310, which is black. You could do a single strand if you wanted as well. I'm not worried about it being too thick because we're just going to do... I'm not even going to name it a stitch because we're just going to fill in this space. It's just going to be a bunch of random stitches. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and then I'm not going to name it with any stitches other than like some straight stitches. Okay. So I've got my 2 strands, and I'm just going to kind of outline this deer first, and then we'll fill it in and do some little details. So I'm going to do the legs first. Oh, those angles are a little funny, aren't they? Hold on. Move that over one. Because this is black, it will be very forgiving. So we are just going to fill in this space. I'm going to do the chest in 2 stitches. So instead of going straight down, I'm going to come out just a little tiny bit to give it kind of a rounded chest, just like the tiniest bit. I'm just going to do one for the back, and then a tiny little tail. And then the back, I'm going to do the same as the front. I'm just going to have it go out just the tiniest bit. And then I'm trying to use as many of the same holes as possible so that there isn't any gaps between the threads. Your screen goes blurry when you put your needle in. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. It's because it's trying to like focus. I have it so zoomed in. Let me see if I can get it closer instead of zooming it in. It's trying to zoom in on my hand. Auto zooming. No, I just am having a hard time seeing my screen. Whoop. I've got to scoot that back a little. Okay. So there's the body. Now I want the head to be a little bit rounded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up. Just wanted to make sure you knew. Oh yeah, it just kind of does that. Okay, so I'm going to go up on the side and down on the side. So I'm going to do kind of a detached chain stitch, but by not using the same hole, by just spreading out the up and down, it will help us get a little bit more rounded instead of like pointed. So for the head, we just have a little space that we can fill in. My cat wants in. Don't pull this too tight because we want to kind of keep that rounded a little bit. I have got to go let my cat in because she will sit and cry at the back door until I let her in. And then she'll start climbing the screen. Hold on one second. Okay, so see how that's a little bit more rounded? Just keep that a little bit kind of like looser. And then I'm just gonna give her some teeny tiny little ears. Okay, and then I'm gonna go, let's see. I'm trying to decide, because I feel like this deer is like looking at us. Do I want to give it a little bit of a face? Let me pull up my pattern, because I didn't draw it quite as exact as the pattern was. Let me pull up the pattern. It was so small, I just didn't Okay. Yeah, so she's kind of looking out. Okay. So we're gonna give her a little bit of a face out here. That might be too far away. Gotta give her a new ear. There, that's better. Okay, and then we're just gonna go ahead and fill in this space with just some straight stitches. Okay. Now you could do like some split stitch in here. I wanted these to just be kind of like a silhouette in the background, so I'm not gonna get too crazy on like texture or anything. I just want to fill it in with the black. All right, there we go. Tiny little deer. Now you can always go in and just like add a little bit, like this tail looks a little bit like it needs one more stitch. Kind of step back and look at things. I kind of need another stitch right here too. Okay, what do we think? Doable? Okay, I'm gonna do, what time is it? 1:15, okay. Let's do Santa's sleigh because because those reindeer have, oh, what am I saying? Those reindeer have antlers, so then we can kind of mimic that for this guy. So let me get this out, and I'm going to put my other hoop in because it has Santa drawn on it. Okay. Put that away. I just have these two really unfinished hoops. Oh no, I don't have him drawn on there. What? Okay, hold on, I gotta draw Santa's. You guys, I am usually more put together than this. December has been crazy. Okay, let's draw Santa's sleigh, man. All right. Okay. How big do we want this? Oh man. gonna have to turn off my lamp here. Okay, so then we can see what's going on. So this hoop is a little bit smaller. I did this one as a 6-inch just to... Okay, I'm gonna have to freehand this a little bit. Okay. I could have sworn I drew this on here. Whoops. No, we're not doing anything crazy, iPad. Just let us be for a minute. Okay. Well, that was fun. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this open right by me so I can kind of see the detail, because what I drew is just like super basic. All right, let me get this back in the hoop. So I'm gonna do the same thing and just like stitch the random kind of stitches, like do the outline. If you want to get really detailed, like if you printed your pattern out, because I know some people use like the sticky solvy and they print on it, and then like their pattern is super, super detailed because they didn't like hand draw it. I would use a single strand for some of those details, like the lines connecting the reindeer. Actually, I will probably do those with a single strand anyways. Okay. All right, let's do some Santa. Okay. These guys are a little smaller than the deer on the ground. So I'm just gonna do that straight. But I'm gonna leave it a little bit looser so it'll kind of flare out there a little. Give him a tiny little tail. So I'm not gonna use that same hole because that I want to be his tail. So I'm gonna come kind of down and under a little bit so that he can keep that tail. Trying to decide what to stitch next. All right, itty bitty little guy. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back in and see if I can add some little spikes. I don't know the words for what, horns on an antler? We want to know that these are antlers. So we're just gonna do some little itty bitty teeny tiny stitches. One more and then we'll fill this guy in. These little bitty guys are super cute. Now, if you're using like a different color, this might not, I mean, I still think like outlining and filling it in is the way to go, but I might fill it in with something like a split stitch. Look how cute he is. Just so you kind of have that texture to work with, but oh my gosh, he is adorable. All right, should we do Santa? And then I will probably let you go. Okay. I think I drew Santa a little bit small. All right, I'm gonna do the bottom of his sleigh. So he has like that runner. wonder if I want to do that. That'll be all right. Whoops, sorry. I'm knocking into things. I'm just gonna do 2 stitches to kind of connect those. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do them first. And then I'll do a stitch over the top of them. I changed my mind. So one thing, if you haven't noticed with my stitch alongs, is I don't stitch them first. At least not most of the time. Most of the time I do not stitch my patterns first, because I feel like that's kind of part of the process with embroidery. Is sometimes you do something, you think, well, that wasn't right, and you have to like rethink it. And so I want you to be part of the thought process of why I'm choosing specific stitches. Because I feel like that's part of embroidery, is like trying something. I have a knot back here. Trying something and being like, you know what, that is not quite what I was thinking it was going to do. So I'm going to do it a different way. And I want you to learn that skill, not just how to do stitches. So I hope you enjoy that part as well as the stitching. Okay, that's a little easier. Especially if you start diving into like creating from patterns that don't have instruction and you kind of just have to like wing it. I think it's important to know how to problem solve. Okay. I'm gonna do another kind of loose stitch so that it'll kind of like pop up a little bit. Like his bag. Just keep that a little loose. Alright, and then the front of the sleigh. I'm just gonna enclose the front of the sleigh. It kind of has it open on the pattern, so it's like his feet are there, but I think that that's too hard to capture. All right, there's Santa's arm. He's saying, come on guys, let's go. Oops. I went down in that hole and I came back up in it. That did not work. So I'm just gonna make his arm just a tiny bit thicker. And then we'll do Santa. These stitches are tiny. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason on why I choose to do some stitches specific ways when I'm doing stuff like this. It just is what it is. Okay, how can we make that look more like Santa? Let's give him a little hat. Okay, I'm gonna fill it in and then see what we can do. I want this to be a little bit fuller because this is where the bag, this little bag is sitting. So I'm going to do another stitch in that same spot to kind of puff it up a little bit. Oops, that was too far. I think I'm gonna do these vertical stitches instead of horizontal. Okay, that does not look like Santa. What do we need to do? Let me do this and see if it helps make it look more like Santa. I'm just gonna do a straight stitch to connect these two. That's better. I think I'm gonna make his head a little bit bigger, more pronounced. Whoops. One more like that. So I'm like coming up and going down in the same spot and just like pushing my thread so it kind of like curves out around it. So it's like staying in the same place but makes it a little bit more rounded. That's better. I think that's good. What do we think? It's just meant to be like an outline, so we're not gonna get too crazy on the details. What do we think? I think I'm gonna call him done. I think he's cute. Okay, so we've got 2 more reindeer and then the buck that's down here. So I'm gonna let you work on those. I am going to try to finish something. I'm not sure what, but I will finish something before tomorrow. I just finished some Christmas stuff and got them in the mail, so I have a little bit more headspace to sit and work on this. So I will get something done. I will post to my stories so you can see it. So tomorrow I'm gonna let people vote. We can do like the sky and snowflakes tomorrow, which will include French knots, or we can do the snow, which is gonna be turkey work. So I will post that in my stories if you want to vote, and I will see you tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye, guys.